An MSNBC contributor whose name is Jason Johnson, speaking yesterday about Republicans.
Then you have another group of people who are essentially fascists, and they want an authoritarian government. We have to stop pretending that we're talking about friends and neighbors. You're talking about people who want to basically imprison women in their bodies and make them completely subjective to men. You're talking about people who don't think black people should have a right to do anything but play sports.
Well, sometimes I think some people need to just put it down. Just
take a deep breath.
Take a deep breath.
Step
go
away
out,
from the camera.
Maybe take a walk. Are Republicans authoritarian fascists who want to imprison women, limit the rights of minorities? Joining us right now to discuss, the host of the nationally syndicated Tony Katz show, appropriately named Tony Katz, or that's his name, the director of press communications also for the Trump 2020 campaign, appropriately named Aaron Perini, and the host of Stacey on the Right, and there she is, Stacey Washington. I don't think we've seen her for a while. She has that living room we all want to go visit.
I know, and a really cute top.
Okay. Yeah. So let's talk about that first, Stacey. And I really feel like sometimes these conversations, they talk to each other, and it just builds and builds and builds.
So, Bob, I listened to him and he's saying that Republicans are authoritarians. Republicans didn't lock down Americans. Republicans aren't forcing America's school children to learn about pornography in class. Republicans aren't doing the things that are actually limiting speech and discourse in America. And every time we pass legislation that allows for more voter integrity, we see the rate of voter participation spike through the roof, as it's doing in Georgia right now. So all of the things he's saying about Republicans are demonstrably false and are actually a projection on his part, because Democrats are the ones who are doing those very things. And this obsession with talking about women being imprisoned in their own bodies. Women have agency. We can decide if we want to get pregnant or not. We don't have to use abortion as contraception. And remanding Dobbs back to the states gives us the opportunity to have states where abortion is a sanctuary, like California, or it's an abortion-free state, like here in Missouri. That's true federalism, and it's what the founders left for us.
Yeah, and Tony Katz, something tells me you probably have a response to what we saw from MSNBC.
Well, first, I'm very upset that you don't like my top. I mean, no comment. It's just so unbelievably rude of you.
I like the plaid. Very fall appropriate.
The real issue is that it's boring. Jason's commentary is boring as hell. This is what happens when you're behind in the polls. This is what happens when your argument hasn't connected with America, when they are fleeing your party. Miami-Dade County is up for grabs in Florida. They may go Republican, which means that's the end, if you will, of Florida being a swing state. When you have nothing left, this is what you grasp at. It's boring. It's just plain boring as sin.
Okay. Aaron, I don't want to disagree with him on that. How about we move on to this? Gavin McInnes, founder of Vice magazine and most notoriously founder of right-wing group The Proud Boys, had a planned comedy show canceled by Penn University after protesters against the show became violent. Here's the part that's a bit
Penn
problematic.
State, not UPenn.
Oh, Penn State, yeah. Okay. The event was canceled due to violence by the protesters, the reason being cited being as public safety. But if it's the protesters that are the ones being violent, shouldn't the university have canceled the protest or done something about them as opposed to canceling the event itself? I feel like I'm in a circle talking now.
Yeah, a little bit.
Help me out.
Yeah, well,
get me out of this.
I don't know. It's tough. But basically, we had anti-free speech protesters.
This will be on the exam, by the way.
There you go. Pushing the university into compliance. So the protesters won. Basically, bullies win in this case. Aaron.
Bullies do win in this case, and you don't have to agree with a single sentiment that either of the individuals who were going to speak say. But what you should want is to protect their ability to say what they want. That's intrinsic to who we are as Americans. Having worked for President Trump and dealt with a number of protesters in my time, we used to set up a free speech zone, an area where protesters were welcome, and it would not only protect their safety, but the safety of rally goers as well. So really, the university failed tremendously here on so many parts. They let the mob win. They let the inmates run the asylum here instead of saying we can protect this and we can protect your ability to disagree with their discourse. But again, they just bent the knee to what the woke mob wanted.
Yeah. Seems to happen a lot.
Sure does. Yeah. All right. We're going to ask our panel to stick around. And Tony, the purple velvet blazer and purple plaid, very on point. And Eric, you always look fantastic. All right.
Thank you.
Much better. Thank you.
Was that good? All right. Thank you. And Bob's tie is fantastic, too.